bring that ass back like a boom, 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 boom.
Hey guys, welcome to another video. On today's video, we're going to be doing some work to the V35 that we just got. So we're turning this one into a street/drift car and keeping it somewhat basic. So we've just been down to a few shops, Car Parts Plus, to get some oil and filter, swap that over. Went down to Nisrec, got some calipers and half shafts. One of the half shafts the boot is actually almost missing, so obviously a lot of dirt and stuff gets in there and wears away at it, and obviously breaks in the end. So I think I'd rather replace it and then keep the other one as a spare, because I do plan to drive this thing to the track and then drift it and then hopefully drive it back. So I want to keep it as reliable as possible. Then we also headed down to Caliper Spares to pick up a whole heap of GKtech parts, which we've got here on the dusty Laurel. So we'll dig in and see what we've got. I think we got some handbrake lines here. So we got basically the full lock kit that GKtech do, the bolt-on lock kit, and we also got their handbrake kit as well. So I think this might be, can open that. I think that's the actual handbrake lever.
Is it? Feels like it.
Oh, there's a lot of bits and pieces there. Yep, you can start looking at that. What do we got here? That's that's the handbrake mount, I think. Got some bolt-on spacers so we can fix up this horrible fitment. So we got some of them. We got some for the front as well, just to try and make these wheels hopefully fit with the extra lock. What's this? This is a rack spacer, slip-on and bolt-on. Axle 10mm. Oh, this is the axle spacers because we're putting the what do you call it? The dual caliper bracket on. So that spaces it out. So we got to space the axles out so we don't stretch them. Wheel wood, so that'll be the master cylinder, I'm guessing. What's in this box? That's a lot of nuts and bolts, I'm assuming, for the handbrake. More nuts and bolts. Oh yeah, so that's the dual caliper bracket. So that goes in between the hub and the knuckle, I assume. By the way, I've never done this before, so winging it and looking up instructions as we go. So we've got this side all apart. Taking the drive shaft out, drum brake assembly off, all the bolts and stuff off, hub off, rotor off, and caliper off. I've left that one connected so we don't have to bleed it up again, hopefully. And now we've got to fit our adapter, which I think goes on something like that. And then everything bolts back on through that. So yeah, we'll get to it. And so this is why I decided to put a new drive shaft in. This one has no boot and sounds funky. And that's what it's meant to look like. So lucky we got some spares. Well, can't see out of these scratch bad boys, but we're about to cut to make room for the extra caliper. And I've kind of marked it out where that bracket sits, ish, very roughly. And we're going to cut it, and then we're going to see if it fits. Engineering at its finest.
Man,
Let's see how it goes.
what's it not fit at all? Ooh.
Something's not fitting.
That handbrake cable is caught.
Hey!
Look at that. That fits. OEM.
Alright, so we got the dual caliper bracket on finally, after a lot of yelling and swearing. And then we went to put the standard caliper on. That fit fine with the spacers and whatnot that's in behind here. Little spacer in there, which you probably can't see because it's not very light. Oh, there we go. So, yeah, that fit. Then we went to this side, where the dual caliper bracket part is, here. And went to put the caliper on, and turns out the spacing from here to here is about 27 mil, whereas the ones on here are nearly 40 mil, I think, from memory. So I don't know what's going on here. They look similar. They have slightly different part numbers. Not sure if these are Aussie delivered ones and these ones are imported ones or what, but I think these ones use a smaller rotor, so it's not bolting on, it's hitting on here before the bolt goes in. So we got this far and now we're stuck. Now I've got to find some more calipers, so it's a bit of a bummer. But we've got hopefully the hard bit done. Now I'm just putting some spacers on to fill the guards out. So yeah, we'll find some more calipers and we'll get back to it another day. Alright, so for today's rundown, we got the rear dual caliper set up on, and then ran into the issue of the calipers being the wrong ones. So got to try and find the right calipers to go any further. While we were there, we put the GKtech adjustable wheel spacers on to get the wheels sitting a bit better. So now they sit kind of flush with the guards. Not too impressed with how they're rolled, but doesn't really matter too much. It sits a bit better. And then while we were there, figured might as well put the front ones on, get that sitting a bit better as well. So yeah, and hopefully that gives us enough clearance for when we put the lock kit in, that we clear everything. Otherwise I'm going to have to run a different set of front wheels for clearance, because these are 9.5 plus 35 or something, so they're not the best offset. Anyway, we'll continue on when we find some more calipers. So yeah. So just looking at installing the Hydra now. I want to try and keep it underneath all the plastics and that to kind of keep it look somewhat sleek. So, because obviously I'm driving this thing every day. The only issue is all this stuff down here is in the way, so I'm going to have a shot at trying to cut all that out, cut all this out, and then hopefully we can slot this in under the radio there somewhere, and then sort of have it up here. But yeah, needs to go a bit further in, and then everything down there is stopping it. So you can have a shot at getting it all out of the way. Alright, so I got it somewhat sort of mounted in here. So what I've done is reuse the bolt that goes through the shifter, like that one there. Holds the rubber boot on. So I've gone, you can kind of see it in there, just gone through there with a longer bolt. And then I'm going to space up the back here. I've just got this RB25 bearing carrier I found in the spare parts bit. Hopefully that's strong enough, but if not, I'll make something else up that's proper, but should be fine. So I'm just going to slide that under and then put a bolt all the way through, and then that should be plenty fine to hold that. Hopefully I'll put a couple of bolts in the middle there as well, just some longer ones through to the tunnel, and then it's going to sit somewhat there, so hopefully that's an alright spot. And then hopefully this chucking the light around, hopefully this cover will sit over the top and it will come out nice and neat. So yeah, we'll get to it. Alright, so we finally sourced the right calipers. So they're the same as these ones now, so they finally fit after lots of chasing around, yelling and swearing, and yeah, we got them. They didn't come with any pads, but we found some at Car Parts Plus. So we got some new El Cheapos in there. The lines are just sitting in there for now, but I'm going to cable tie them to the handbrake lines, or the standard handbrake lines. But now, also I don't know if I've shown you, but I've got the handbrake mounted up in here. So it's got the standard surround and stuff like that, and all looks pretty standard. Just got a little cutout here for that to go backwards and forwards. But now we just got to work out how we're going to fill it up. So take this off. Take that out. I also had to relocate the hazard light switch, so that's down here now. I'm just chilling. I might make a better spot for that somewhere later. I'm not sure where though. So the reservoir is all the way down here now, if you can see. So we're gonna have to work something out so we can get fluid in there. Take that off. It's all the way in there. So yeah, it's gonna be hard trying to get some fluid in there, but we'll see how we go chucking it in. Alright, so we're going to try this water bottle full of brake fluid. I'm going to try and squirt it in there. So this is probably going to end badly, but I came up with an ingenious idea of putting a rag around it. So when I spill it, it doesn't go everywhere.
Stealing my idea.
Alright.
Take the filthiest rag.
This is already hard. I'm gonna go from this side.
How about you rip the fucker off?
Can you hold the light over here? Right there. Oh, I got it now. Ooh. Or maybe go there. That's good. Oh, I don't only have to do this once. This is going to be hard. Oh, it's going in. It's full. Alright.
Genius.
Now I've got to bleed it up.
If we turn
So we got all the lines ran and mounted up. Run it. I'm up in the trans tunnel up there, just past in front of the shifter. Down here, cable tied it to the handbrake line there. Up here, which is a bit hard to see. And then up here, which was a nightmare of a spot. So the length of the lines kind of made it all sort of fit there. Didn't want to go underneath the diff because I didn't want it to be near the exhaust or near the ground. I didn't want it scraping on the ground. So that was kind of the only spot to put it. And it's right where the tail shaft is there, you can see. So I've tried to sort of tie it up so it doesn't touch the tail shaft, but yeah, that was a nightmare. And then here wasn't too bad, just along the other handbrake cables and then up into the dual caliper. So I'm going to drop it down and test it out, see how it goes. So just doing the first test drive with the Hydra installed. Seems to be fine, not hitting on anything. Then as soon as I put the power down, it hits on something really badly. I'm assuming it's the diff moving and hitting on that bracket, so that three-way bracket I should say. So I'm going to have to go back and fix that, which is a pain in the ass because I don't know where else I'm going to put that three-way T, and I might have to bleed it all up again. Ugh. But other than that, it works pretty well. I don't want to do it too much because we're not on my mate's private road this time, but yeah, she's working. Alright, let's fix it.